Are you ready?
Needs to be stopped immediately.
Hi there, I'm Helena, and today we're going to talk to you about the ethical, technology and legal issues associated with Don't with Cats, a docu-series following an internet investigation of a cat killer. First, I will tell you a little bit about the background. Second, Archie will list the key issues that will be discussed. Nick will then take us through the topic of internet anonymity before Alex takes over on internet justice. Finally, Varun will discuss one of the main legal issues on this topic before we get a conclusion from Enakshi. The internet is boundless. It is considered to be one of the best tools we have to communicate and to support free speech. The happy place of the internet encompasses all of the things that people love. Cute babies, happy stories, and adorable animals. The internet can be a source of great joy to the people who dwell in this happy place. But there is also a dark side to the internet. This deeper, disturbing part of the internet harbours much unsavoury content, including violence and in some cases, criminal activity. These two sides have one thing in common though. One intrinsic, unwritten rule. Rule 0. Don't with cats. This rule was unmistakably broken in 2010 when a video named One Boy, Two Kittens surfaced and was shared throughout both the good and the dark sides of the internet. The story of Don't with Cats is one of how internet users united with one goal: to find the cat killer. The journey that follows is one of intense amateur investigation and near stalking type behaviour, which achieved limited success in tracking down the real target, and actually resulted in the false accusation of a man from Namibia, who later committed suicide because of trolling and threatening behaviour. Although any information gleaned was shared with the police, no one had very much luck in tracking down the real killer, Luca Magnotta, until it was too late. Magnotta's behaviour escalated over a period of 2 years, with his videos becoming more and more gruesome as he left clues online, even infiltrating the investigation. In 2012, the group's worst fears were realised when Magnotta murdered Chinese international student Lin Jun, posting the video online before fleeing. Now, with the full support of the police on an international scale, investigations intensified worldwide, until eventually Magnotta was apprehended in Germany in June 2012.
There is no doubt that the original group of internet vigilantes involved in this investigation had good intentions. It is natural to seek justice for animals who cannot speak for themselves. In addition, for years we've been told that these profiles of killers oftentimes involve animal abuse during their former years. So, their concerns were warranted for sure, but there are still issues here. Technology. According to police, Magnotta had set up at least 70 Facebook pages and 20 websites under different names over a number of years to plant claims about himself and yes, to post those videos. This is what made him so hard to trace and so hard to determine whose responsibility it was to find him. But what is classed as fake profile? Are they easy to make? And then, there's the dark side of the internet we mentioned earlier. Does this part of internet actually encourage these types of crimes as well as serving as a platform for them? And then there are ethical issues too. Maybe fake profiles are common, maybe they are easy to make, but should we be allowed to fake it online? Would it have been easier to catch Luca Magnotta if he was prevented from doing this? Maybe he needed to be caught. We all can agree on that, but the level of investigative behavior that the group of internet nerds participated in was almost scary. Looking at the case of Jamzi, the wrongly accused profile whose owner literally died because of this investigation, it lends itself to the question: where is the line between internet justice and internet harassment? And what is defined as cyberstalking? Finally, the main legal implication here, whose job was it to catch Luca Magnotta. We can argue that the group of vigilantes in Don't Mess with Cats crossed the line, but where the police? Is the internet truly a free for all, or is there jurisdiction here? The line is unclear.
Around 67% of the people believe that they should be allowed to disguise their identities online. It can be argued that because people should not be defined by a limited series of traits, fake profiles allow them to amplify or quieten aspects of their personality based on context that they find themselves in. It can be also be argued that the personality traits that some people want to hide are ones that we should be concerned about. For example, one shouldn't feel the need to create a fake profile to talk about cats. There are groups that all over social media, even so that you don't need to bore your non-cat loving friends about the subject. Killing cats though, you might not want people to know that your identity for this one. But people use fake profiles as a means of expressing parts of their identities which are unacceptable according to social norms. For example, sexuality or religion. And there are areas of the world where people can be punished for expressing their opinions online. These people use the internet as a platform for free speech. So by preventing people from remaining anonymous online, are we really limiting the usefulness of the internet? There are arguments for both sides, but arguably the perpetrated threats outweigh the benefits.
Ethical dilemma: Internet justice versus internet harassment. Typically, internet justice involves the sanctioning of behavior related to issues currently in the social justice spotlight, for example, animal abuse or racism. Acts of internet justice are usually lauded or justified, and normally target those perceived to be in a position of power. Internet harassment or bullying usually target those in a perceived position of weakness, and is frequently condemned by the wider community. But if we take internet trolling as an example, we can see that often the line between internet justice and harassment is crossed, where people are targeted online for perceived behavior without the full story being known. While community norm enforcement is an important part of society which cannot be replaced by a judicial system, it seems though that this type of mob mentality is accelerated by the internet and can generate terrible consequences, like the death of innocent man Edward Jordan. Unfortunately, this type of mentality frequently dissolves personal accountability.
Who has jurisdiction over the internet? Different regions of the world have different laws. For example, killing and even eating pets is not illegal in Canada, while it is in most parts of the United States. For this reason, it is difficult to know by looking at a video, not knowing where the content takes place, whether the activity the perpetrator is participating in is legal or not. Even when various parties agree on the legality of activities, sometimes many states will claim jurisdiction, or none will. This is known as positive or negative clash on jurisdiction. But what is this based on? Is it the country of residence, the place of act, of effect, or the nationality of the people involved? The rules are unclear even when the internet anonymity is not involved. In the virtual world of the internet, the lines become even more blurred. This is the single most important legal aspect of TFWC. Had police intervened, perhaps, the vigilantes would not have felt the need to. At most, they might have followed the case. Maybe Luca Magnotta would have been found earlier. Maybe Edward Jordan might not have been dead. Maybe June Lin might not have been dead. This is all just speculation, but the fact is, jurisdiction over the internet needs to be explored further, and the lines need to be clearer in order to discourage this from happening ever again.
So we would conclude by saying that we do not possess the capacity to really understand the context of another individual's action. This has never been truer than in the case of Luca Magnotta. However, at the end of Don't Mess with Cats, we are led to wonder about our contribution towards this story, meaning that we oftentimes don't realize the consequences of our own actions. If technology was an enabler, did we all have a part to play in this tale? We don't have the answers. What we have learned, though, is that we should all exercise caution in the future and continue to discuss and reconsider the viability of some of the laws and ethics discussed here in order to ensure the continued development of our society.